Today I'm here with Jeremy Knipe in Grand Teton National. Okay, just scratch everything I said here. This was a horrible intro, and I didn't explain what this video is actually about. After the epic few days Jeremy and I spent in Yellowstone and the Tetons in our previous videos, we now had just one day left in Grand Teton National Park. So in this video, we're gonna see how much wildlife we can photograph with just 24 hours in the park. As the sun began to creep up over the Absaroka Range, Jeremy and I dropped down into Cottonwood Flats along a rushing river. We quickly found both a Canada goose and a pair of tree swallows. I didn't manage to pull off any interesting photos of these guys, so it's a good thing we found a male mountain bluebird shortly after. And I was able to get a cool photo using the vibrant blues of the bird's feathers against the dark, dull browns of the tree limbs behind him to make him stand out. After shooting the bluebirds, we continued further downstream, crossing offshoots of the main river and getting into the thick of the cottonwood forest. Before long, we found another bird, a robin, which I managed to grab a few clips of through the brush. It was difficult shooting, so I didn't get any photos until the bird fluttered up from the ground and landed on an interesting perch, the light of the rising sun illuminating its perch. As the robin flew away, we looked east, across the river, where a group of elk were moving through an open meadow. It was spring, migration season, and these elk were migrating north from the National Elk Refuge where they hang out in the winter to their summering grounds in the northern parts of Jackson Hole. We ended the morning with a killdeer, then a mule deer, and then, as things warmed up, we began to hike back to our vehicles to check out some other areas of the park. The clock was ticking, and we still had some more wildlife to find. You know, this has been a really awesome morning. Whether it was like the geese we started out with or the mountain bluebirds, I got some stuff that I'm pretty happy with.
Yeah, and regardless, it's been a really nice hike this morning and great experience walking around.
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful area. And you know, one thing that I really like to discuss on hikes like this?
What's that?
Video sponsorships.
Like cotton carrier?
Exactly like cotton carrier. A cotton carrier is an innovative chest harness that allows for easy, quick access to your camera while keeping your hands free. These harnesses are great for hiking with your camera, as you don't have to worry about backpacks or having enough hands to carry everything. You just carry the camera on your chest, and it's out of the way and easy to maneuver with. You see an animal you want to photograph? Simply turn the camera sideways, slide it up, and start shooting. It's as easy as that. Having a system that allows you to quickly access your camera in this way ensures that you don't miss out on any shooting opportunities. These cotton carrier harnesses are great for wildlife photographers who do a lot of hiking for photos, so if you're interested in purchasing one, Cotton Carrier is giving a 15% discount to anyone who uses this code at checkout during the first week of this video's publishing. I'll put a link in the description below to purchase, and huge thanks to Cotton Carrier for sponsoring this video. Jeremy and I wouldn't have been able to fund these collaboration videos without them. As we made our way through the forest back to our vehicles, we stumbled upon more wildlife. Or at least, what used to be wildlife.
Oh, whoa. Check this out.
Yeah, that's cool. Look at this.
Oh, dang. The whole thing.
Yeah.
What is it?
It looks like elk to me.
Okay.
Just based on the hooves down here, yeah. I like the fur coloration. I think this is elk.
That's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Those are some long legs there.
Yeah, for sure. We're not at the top of the food chain out here.
Yeah.
While we may not be at the top of the food chain, the animal we were about to photograph definitely was. Jeremy and I drove north, where just outside of the park, we found two subadult grizzly bears. These bears are only 2.5 years old, and they were just recently kicked out by their mother. Being somewhat lost and confused without mom leading them around, the siblings were still hanging out together for the time being, as they figured out what it meant to be an adult grizzly bear. They stayed pretty far out, so we headed back into the park to look for bears there. As we drove north, we eventually came to a traffic jam. To accompany this traffic jam, there was a line of photographers and a grizzly bear. This is Grizzly 1063, aka Bonita, a bear that regular viewers of my channel are likely familiar with by now. She was out on a hillside feeding, and while I got one okay photo of her, I didn't get much before she moved into the tree line and then on to the next meadow. Both Jeremy and myself moved down the road and set up ahead of where she was going. She stuck to the tree line, foraging as she went, which allowed for some nice video clips, but no photo opportunities I liked just yet. We watched and filmed as Bonita foraged for over an hour. She hadn't come any closer yet, so knowing that I may spot Grizzly 399 with her new cub a little further down the road, I decided to move on. Jeremy hung back, patiently waiting for Bonita to move into position for the photos he wanted. Yesterday, I had gotten an epic photo of 399 with her cub when they emerged in the public eye for the first time, which I featured in my most recent video. I was hoping that if I could find her again, I'd be able to capture even more great photos of the duo while the cub was still tiny. When I arrived on scene where she had last been, there was quite a large crowd. Unfortunately, the crowd was just waiting, and they hadn't seen her in a while. I was about to get out and join in on the wait, but before I could settle in to wait, Jeremy sent me a text. Bonita was about to cross the road, meaning she would be close enough for good photos. I quickly got back in my truck and rushed back up the road to where she had been. I parked, jumped out, and got set up just in time to fire off a few photos before she crossed. This is my favorite one I got, and I like it so much that a few days ago I entered it, along with my recent photo of 399 and her cub, in this year's Bird Burger Photo Competition. This is a photo competition created by Jeremy and centered around the YouTube wildlife photography community. The judges are other wildlife photography YouTubers, and over $4,500 in prizes will be given away to winners. Last year, I was a judge, but my schedule didn't allow for that this year, so I'm gonna be a participant instead. If you're interested in entering in the competition, I'll add a link to the description below. Bonita crossed the road, and on the other side, I got a few more photos of her. While I liked what I got, my photos didn't compare to the epic image Jeremy had captured of her in front of the Teton range. His patience had paid off, and he had gotten the image he was dreaming of. But you'll have to check out his video to see that. As the sun began to set behind the Tetons, Bonita gave us one last photo opportunity. Jeremy and I shot side by side, both getting a few final photos of her before it got dark. Eventually, she wandered deeper into the meadow and disappeared into the tree line. And that concluded another great evening with bears in the mountains. With just a single day in the park, we had captured a variety of birds, some elk, mule deer, and 3 different grizzly bears. I feel like that's not too bad for just one day in the park, but I think I can do better. So you guys comment below if you like this idea, and maybe in the future I'll try it out again and see if I can do even better. Until then, I can't express how great of a time I had shooting with Jeremy in this incredible ecosystem, and I can't wait to meet back up and collab with him again in the future. That's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video.